going on, people? LP2000 right back at you, another video again. This time I'm going to do a little video discussion. I made a post on Facebook today asking the question, who would win in a proposed fight between two of Godzilla's most powerful incarnations? Godzilla 1991 from the film Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, or the GMK from Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, Giant Monster All Attack. And I can see my wife in the corner, she's betting on GMK, but I will discuss that later on. I posted this on Facebook, and it was really a split poll between fans, especially fans of the incarnation as well as the figures. This is the X Plus Gigantic Series GMK, and this is a custom-made statue I had made of Godzilla 1991. And since these, in my opinion, are the most powerful forms of Godzilla ever, I mean, of course, there have been other powerful incarnations, like the original one, the 1962, the 1995 Burning Godzilla, Godzilla 2000. But to me, these two are the most powerful forms of Godzilla ever. And on the surface, you would think they don't have a lot in common, but in actuality, they do. Now, before I go into who I think will win between the two, let's go over some history. Godzilla 1991, from the film Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. And there's one thing I say about that film as well as the GMK. Both of them films have a lot of similarities. They're the third films of their proposed series. The third film in the Heisei series, the third film in the Millennium series. 1991, fast forward 10 years later, 2001. They both have films that, I mean, they're both films that have a lot of Showa type references in the films. Because out of the three periods of Godzilla, the Showa era is my favorite era. And both these films exemplify what's best about the Showa series. Of course, in the first two films of the Heisei and the Millennium periods, they try to do something different with new opponents and new concepts in a more realistic way. But it's ironic, when it came down to the third film of each series, they try to go back to more of a Showa type feel to it. And with Godzilla 1991, Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah 1991 and GMK, I believe that their films, it's a Showa film trapped in the Heisei period, and a Showa film trapped in the Millennium period. And they have a lot more similarities also. Both of them are merciless, savage, malicious, brutal, unstoppable forces of nature in both of their films. You would think that they're both are like evil. Well, the GMK is, we know GMK is the most evil Godzilla of them all, with him being possessed by the people that died in the Pacific conflict of World War II. Whereas I believe Godzilla 1991, he's not necessarily evil, he's more so hateful. Because in that film, Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, they kind of fleshed out the backstory of Godzilla. In the original Godzilla movie, we never really knew where he came from. He just kind of appeared out of nowhere. But in Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, they kind of explore his origins. Him being a gentle dinosaur, but yet got hit with radiation, which made him twice as big and twice as powerful and more vicious and savage. So his reasoning for always wanting to attack humanity is maybe because of what humanity did to him. Whereas GMK is just basically a 60-meter tall serial killer that wants to kill and destroy everything in his path. And it's funny when it comes to both films. Both films, I believe, like I said, are very, very similar once you scratch the surface of it. They both have great monster fights. Godzilla employs some very powerful tactics to destroy his enemies. With Godzilla 1991, in one scene, he actually obliterated King Ghidorah's middle head from his torso with his atomic breath. And of course, GMK basically destroyed every monster in that film. He incinerated Baragon, Mothra and King Ghidorah. And it's funny, both of those films kind of end on a lame note, in my opinion. Because in Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, he wasn't necessarily defeated. He was more so subdued and taken out to sea because he was causing destruction in Tokyo. Then Mecha King Ghidorah came back from the future and tried to stop him, but didn't really stop him. They just, like I said, just subdued him and took him out to sea to stop his rampage. Of course, Godzilla came back, and in GMK, how he was able to go through all that, but yet he was defeated. He defeated himself, basically. He defeated himself when he got pierced from the inside by one of those special D3 missiles, and when he tried to blow his fire at people, it blew from the outside, and he exploded from the inside out. Of course, at the very end, we see his heart beating at the bottom of the ocean floor. So in both films, Godzilla somehow comes back to live to fight or live to terrorize another day. Now, with that being said, who would win between a proposed fight between Godzilla 1991 and GMK Godzilla? Now let's go over the stats, and after we going over Toho Kingdom, Godzilla 1991 is at 100 meters tall, 60,000 tons. GMK is 60 meters tall and 30,000 tons. And considering how these figures are both in scale with each other, with GMK being a little bit shorter, but yet more bulkier in size, this could actually really work. Both of these Godzillas, the way they fought in their perspective movies, they always attacked forward. They did not try to hide behind buildings and just did a more defensive way. They more was on the offense, and they were very brutal in their attacks. In Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, obviously in that film, to me, Godzilla gave King Ghidorah the worst beatdown Godzilla has ever did. And in GMK, the fact that he was able to go through Baragon, King Ghidorah, and Mothra with relatively easy, just goes without saying. Now, although I do have to say, as far as the GMK, now, in that film, obviously Godzilla is portrayed as the ultimate kaiju. And in a way, they kind of made Baragon, Mothra, and King Ghidorah a little bit weaker, in my opinion. I think if they were the Heisei counterparts of Mothra and King Ghidorah, then it might have been a different outcome when it comes to GMK. They just were not their more powerful forms in GMK. Especially Mothra. Mothra didn't have any of her Heisei powers. All she did was throw like pellets at Godzilla. King Ghidorah didn't really do his lightning gravity beam attack until like the very end before he got obliterated. So I kind of beg the question, what would have happened if there were more powerful incarnations of those kaiju to oppose Godzilla? Would it be a different outcome? Would Godzilla defeat them with ease? Who knows? But with that being said, seeing these two together is awesome, but who would I pick in a proposed fight between these two? Who would win? Babe, who you going for?
GMK.
Olivia, who you going for?
GMK.
Haley, who you going for?
GMK.
I'm going to be devil's advocate. I say that Godzilla 91 would beat GMK. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but it's just that I'm a fan of GMK. I really am. And he's the most vicious Godzilla out there. But to me, something about the Godzilla 1991 is just awesome and unstoppable. And he was just stop with that loser sign. To me, Godzilla 1991 would beat GMK. I wouldn't say it would be a cakewalk. I wouldn't say that it would be something relatively easy, but I think through it all, I think Godzilla 1991 would beat GMK in a straight up fight. Maybe y'all agree, maybe you don't. Obviously in this household is 3 GMKs to 1 G91, so whatever. But that's just my opinion, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But either way, both Godzillas are awesome. Both are my representation. It's my favorite representation of Godzilla as a villain, as a straight up villain, or more as a straight up villain slash anti-hero. I love that version of Godzilla. Don't get me wrong, I love him being a hero and all that other good stuff, but I like him as the nasty, nasty villain. Which is why I love these two films so much, as well as these two figures. And I highly recommend you see both of them, especially back to back, and just get 2 different perspectives, but yet somewhat of the same character of Godzilla. Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, 1991. GMK, Godzilla Monster King Ghidorah, Giant Monster All Out Attack. Hopefully y'all agree. If not, hey, we can agree to disagree. I welcome all opinions. If you have any ideas or any opinions on who you think will win the fight between these 2 gigantic behemoths, leave a comment in the comment section, and we can talk about it. We can go from there. But for me, it's Godzilla 1991 for me. So, I mean, GMK is nice. He's destructive. He's evil. He's all that, and you know. But I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. I really am. I love you, but I'm so sorry. It's this guy right here. So thank y'all for watching. I appreciate it, and I will see y'all again on the next figure or movie review. All right, y'all have a good night. Take care. Bye.